Hi, my name's Evan. I just got back from a 5-day trip to London and I used the London Pass on 3 of those days and thought it was absolutely incredible. So here's going to be my quick review of the London Pass. If you want to actually see some video and some footage from what I did on my trip, you can click on the link up there. But otherwise, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how to get the best value from the London Pass and why I think it should be something you consider buying when you travel to London next time. So, first up, what is the London Pass? Well, it's a card, either a printout or a actual mobile app that you can download, and you pay one flat rate, and that gets you entry into some of the best and most famous sites in London. This includes Westminster Abbey, the Tower of London, the Tower Bridge, Churchill's War Rooms, Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, and it also includes a hop-on, hop-off bus tour and a cruise of the River Thames and a whole bunch of other things. And it's really, really easy to use. It's basically, especially if you've got a smartphone, you just download the app, pay the fee, and then you get a mobile digital ticket that you scan when you go to every location. And you're good to go. But not only that, it also includes maps and itineraries and descriptions of all of the locations that it provides a entrance to, and it also lists their opening hours and things like that. So it's also really a very handy guidebook. But the one thing is that most places that accept the London Pass close around 4 or 5. So the big thing you have to do to get the most value out of the London Pass is to be willing to start early. If you don't get out on the road visiting locations until 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, you're really going to be wasting a lot of time. So now let's talk about what the London Pass costs. And that really depends on how many days you want to use it for. You can do it for 1 day, and that's about 70 pounds or so. 2 days is more like 80 or 90, and 3 days is around 100 pounds. And then it keeps going up from there. And what I would say is that the 1 day pass is probably not worth it. In that case, you're probably better off just getting individual tickets to each location. These tickets to most of the famous places in London cost between 15 and 25 pounds. So if you think you can make it to more than 3 locations in your day, then the London Pass is going to be worth it for 1 day. But what I found, at least for me, and how I like to tour was that, yeah, I could go straight to every major venue, take a cab or take the tube or a bus. London's a really easy city to get around. But what I really enjoyed a lot was actually walking between the venues, between the museums and the historical sites, and just sort of seeing how every different neighborhood in London felt a little bit different. And to me, that was really half the fun. So I would say that if you are going to be walking around a lot between each exhibit, each museum, you really need to allow for the fact that you're probably not going to see more than 3 places in a day, because it takes time to walk. You know, I was walking probably 10 miles a day, and it just is exhausting. So if you walk 5 miles and then go to the British Museum and spend a couple of hours walking around the British Museum, and then you walk, a mile or 2 to Buckingham Palace or Churchill's War Rooms or something, it adds up. So don't be over ambitious about how much you schedule. At the same time, because it includes the hop-on, hop-off bus, you can actually use that to shorten the time between each trip. You can use that as both a means of getting around and as a means of seeing parts of London. And the river cruise on the Thames is also a really cool way of seeing parts of London from a view that you would never see, and also getting down to Greenwich if you want to tour around there. So all in all, I would highly recommend the London Pass, especially for 2 and 3 day, 4 day visits. For 1 day visits, I think you're probably better off going in and just getting the individual tickets that you're looking for. The other great thing, the last great thing about the London Pass is just that it encourages you to explore places you wouldn't normally consider. For example, I don't think I would have gone to Shakespeare's Globe Theatre had it not been for the London Pass. I don't think I would have thought that £15 was worth it. But when I went in, I had an amazing time and would totally recommend seeing that. That's just an example. So I think it's really a great way of sampling bits of London that you wouldn't normally see. So hope you enjoyed this. If you do, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Thanks so much and enjoy.